Hey, Unstuckers! Josh here, as joined every week by my co-host Cel. Say what's up, Cel.
What's up, unstuckers?
We are back for 2021, the first casual Friday of 2021, and boy, what a start to the new year it has been.
That is
Obviously,
true.
we are not a news podcast nor a political podcast, but I think we would be remiss by not acknowledging that the Capitol was breached for the first time in 208 years the other day. So that's alarming. I hope everyone is doing the best they can with that knowledge, and being what do I want to say? Uh, Not taking this as quote unquote normal, or okay. Uh, I don't want to belabor the point too much, but this is bullshit. So,
Yeah,
uh,
uh, agreed. I think the biggest thing right now is to educate yourself. Find sources that you trust, find sources that are going to show you both sides, and educate yourself because there are some discrepancies. And if you're not seeing them outright and blatant right now, just educate yourself. And uh,
and
that's all I got.
this is not how a democracy functions. Democracy
Yeah.
functions by voting and arguing, sure, about issues, but the blatant violence and disregard for our democracy this week, if you're living in the States, whew, I have never ever felt like I was living in a quote unquote third world country until this week. Um, that's been scary. So stay safe out there, educate yourself, and remember, you're always welcome to argue with people, voice opinions, but please try and get your facts as straight as you possibly can. I know that's the major problem right now with the internet, social media, etc. But do your best and then have a civil conversation. Don't bring guns to the Capitol. Thanks.
Definitely. Definitely.
on
On that note, Josh.
on that note, I feel super casual this casual Friday. We have our mini mastermind to get to. So casual Fridays, if you don't know, are where Chell and I get together and we have a mini mastermind to discuss what's going on in our world, our businesses, and try and help each other out a bit. So that's what we're going to do here. We'll each have about 10 minutes to update. We might go a little longer today just because it's been a few weeks. And I know, even though
Fair.
we have not been recording, we have both been working. So,
Accurate.
so we'll have things to say. So, Chell, you're up first. Let me get the timer out, and
Cool.
we will get you 10 minutes to update us on what you've been up to over the holidays and beyond. Go.
So obviously I've embraced Josh a little bit more. I've become a little bit more like you because now I have one guitar in my background.
Ooh.
Yeah. So I'm trying to pick it back up again. We'll see how that goes.
Excellent.
But over the last couple of weeks, I believe the last time we spoke, some of my goals for the new year were to kind of have a more solidified plan for the new year, and to get my mini course up and running. So I have kind of a little bit more of a solidified plan for the new year. I think my plan was actually a plan for the end of the year to solidify my plan in the new year. I think that's what my plan actually was. So I did that. I built a mini course, and within that 2 weeks, figured out that it was not just like an email campaign that I wanted to do because that doesn't connect with any of the other programs that I have. So I ended up actually building a mini course on my website. So that doesn't cost me anything extra per month or whatever. So I don't have to house it anywhere. It's password protected.
By actual, you mean like a video mini course?
No. Okay, so like not a video mini course. How about that?
No,
like something that you like.
Never
click
mind
through.
that question then. I just mean what do you mean by actual versus email?
Okay, yeah, fair. Okay, so that's fair. Yeah. So I was gonna send this out like through a 4-week email thread, and like they were gonna receive emails every week. But now it can be a go at your own pace mini course for busy families.
Gotcha.
So rather than getting new information every week, they can have all of it at once or spread it out however they want it. So that was a different approach than I initially wanted with it, but it'll be fine.
Cool.
So that was the big thing that I did over the last 2 weeks. I've actually been a lot less active on Instagram. I think I did it for mental health, um, to be completely honest.
Fair.
I was still doing like at minimum posting 5 days a week, but I wasn't engaging as much. And I noticed that my growth and my engagement was down because I wasn't engaging as much. So this is really good to note, guys. That if you aren't engaging, you are not going to get that same engagement. So it is imperative if you can take the half hour before you post and the half hour after you post to engage with new prospects, old prospects, just have conversations, it's going to be so much more beneficial for your growth on Instagram. This is proven fact because I have not grown in the past 3 weeks. So just a little sprinkle of a takeaway there.
There you go. Yeah.
Yesterday I met with my my business coach though, and we basically, it was really helpful. So we were supposed to talk about like the goals that I have set, but we ended up talking about, I guess it kind of broke down to like, I'm not being 100% myself on Instagram. And like, I'm not saying I'm being fake. I'm just not showing all of me. And like in this day and age, people don't work with you for your content. People work with you to work with you. Right. So like, right. I'm 100% myself, like on these talks and with the Unstuckers, but like on my Wellness Cucina page, now formerly Wellness Cucina, now Save Time Cooking on Instagram. But I am not like super goofy and like 100% myself on that. I'm a lot more reserved because I thought like being more professional was going to be a better way of like meeting and like approaching new clients. Mm-hmm. But I'm more myself on the reels. And she's like, you're really funny on the reels, but like, why don't you do that all the time? And I'm like, I don't know. So
good point, over the business coach.
Yeah. Like, but that's not something that I would have thought of had I like had someone else not brought it up for me, you know? I don't know. It's just like not where my mind goes. So over the next couple of weeks, my goal is to be more me on Instagram. I'm going to kind of change my photo style to using one filter so everything has kind of the same hue to it. Mm-hmm. That's just like aesthetic reasoning,
right,
that I'm doing that. And then I guess kind of more focusing on my brand voice, and that leads back into like how I come across on social platforms as well. So it's I think digging a little bit more into who I am, not who the business is, but who I am, and how I want to portray that in the business, right? So like, can I drop F-bombs? Can I say shit? And like that, those are things that I'm considering because like I curse a lot.
You can't.
Like, that's what I mean. Like I am so much more me on Unstuck than I am in my own business. And it's the weirdest thing that I'm now realizing. But like, why can't I drop F-bombs? Like, if I can relate to the mom who's also just like, fuck recipes, fuck that shit, right? I want to be working with her, not the mom who's like, oh, well, I guess I kind of like recipes and sometimes we just do that. And like her voice gets lower and lower and more reserved. Like, that's not what I want to do. I don't want to pull life out of you. I want to just like elevate it. Right. So I think that that's the persona. I just need to be me. Like, that's literally what it breaks down to. I need to be me. So that was helpful and kind of an aha moment that's going to lead into everything else. Remember how back in December you launched a webinar in like 3 days?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I'm going to do that, but plan it out for 2 weeks from now. So I haven't chosen a date yet, mostly because David's leaving in a couple of days. Actually, David's leaving tomorrow for 4 months.
Oh, so 4 months?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. Have I not told you this? Have I not told anyone this? Yeah. David's leaving for 4 months. So I'm going to have a lot more me time and a lot more business time. Excellent. But the last couple of weeks have honestly just been family time, like as much as possible because he's leaving. So yeah, but my goal is to have a date set. I'll probably post it on the Unstuck page on Instagram just to keep myself accountable to you guys so that you know that it's out there. But I'll have a date set for 2 weeks out. And then I will be planning a live like cook with me webinar. So something that people can do in like under 30 minutes and basically they're cooking dinner with me. Nice. So it's going to be at midnight my time, but it'll be fine. Nice. Yeah. So I think doing things like this and really building my brand building authority within this space by doing a variety of different things is going to be really helpful. So I'm just going gung ho on Instagram. I'm going to do everything on there. And if I want to spread out to like Pinterest or YouTube in the future, like cool. But I think three major things for the new year: going to be on other people's podcasts. So other like busy mom or busy influencers, whether that be like their IGTVs or their podcasts, so that I can use their listeners and leverage their platform to my benefit. Right. So that's one thing for the new year. Mm-hmm. Two, do more IGTV series. So I'm doing two different series. One of me cooking with my family, and I actually did one at the end of last year, me making pastries with my dad, and it was actually hilarious. I've never seen him like live on camera before, but it was hilarious. And then my aunt joined in for a little bit, so it was really funny. But I'm gonna try and do those at least twice a month, if not every week, with family. And we're just like cooking recipes that I grew up with as like a kid, and their take on it and like how we've changed it. And then another IGTV series where I have busy families on, whether it be busy moms or busy dads. They choose 3 items from either their fridge or their pantry, and then we talk right then and there about how to use those items.
Nice.
So bringing value is the key this year, right? So hardcore bringing value. And hey, if you want to work with me when I'm giving you a shit ton of value, awesome.
Nice.
That's all I got.
I mean, that's the way, right? I totally agree with that.
I don't know if I have any questions.
Have you picked a platform for your webinar yet?
Okay, so my business coach was telling me a way I could do it for free. So using StreamYard for free, right? There's like a certain amount of hours, I think, you can use StreamYard for free. So using StreamYard, you can have it on your like private Facebook page. So you have all of these people funneling into this Facebook page. They watch it on this Facebook page, and then they get a special like bonus for not only watching it, but being on this Facebook page.
Right.
And then they get some type of, I guess, like added bonus rather than a discount.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool. I like that. And then it builds your, and by you mean a Facebook page or a Facebook group?
Group. You're right.
Yeah. So then it builds a community within your group, which is nice.
And like that's my goal for sure.
A version of a mailing list.
Yeah. And I mean, I could always like low key launch or like beta launch something out to them first. You know, get some feedback. Absolutely. So I think all of that could be really beneficial. It just needs to come together. And over the next 4 months, I'm gonna have a lot of time. So I feel like I can do it.
Excellent. Cool. That all sounds very exciting. Sounds like the right path to take, but it also sounds like a lot of work.
Yeah, definitely. And guys, we've told you guys this a million times too, right? Like breaking it all down into baby steps so that it's not as overwhelming. So over the next couple of days, that's going to be really my goal, is breaking all of this down into something that's going to be feasible so that I know what I need to work on every week or even every day to make sure that this happens. In addition to like the baseline of what I have to do to stay afloat on Instagram, podcasting, reaching out to prospects, things of that nature. And there you go.
Yeah, good timing. Well, very cool. All right, we'll get to your goals after me. So, you ready for what I've been up to?
Hold up, my timer is not ready for you. I have it on my nap timer time, which is 25 minutes, but I'm ready when you are. Go.
Don't give me 25 minutes. All right. So, funny you should mention that I had that time that I made a webinar happen in like 3 days. I made a mini course happen in like 5 days. Full blown with video, edited, 4-part series for free for the podcast startup course. I basically repackaged the information in my webinar and made it a mini course, drip course on Teachery is what I'm using that hosts my podcast coursing, my podcasting course.
Nice.
And so, remember when I was like, I'm just gonna like, I don't have necessarily goals. I have a lot of things I'd like to accomplish, but I don't want to like pick one. I want to just like take some time to breathe and see what I decide to do. Well, mostly what I decided to do was make a mini course and build a gate for my house, for the side of my house. which was good. There was something about creation of a physical object like a gate. Woodworking, painting is just kind of for me. I can zone out a little bit. So I did a lot of that. That was fun because the side gate to my house is like falling apart. So I was like, I'm going to make a new one. And I've had this thought for like 6 months, but I never had time to do it. So I just did it, which was lovely. But I also made this mini course. And so that took the week between Christmas and New Year's. I took off of work for IT stuff and was just at home making this course mostly. And like you said, I broke it down into steps. So like it was like Monday, make the outline. I rewatched my webinar and took notes on anything I ad libbed from my PowerPoint, and was like, "Ooh, that's good. I should keep that in." Stuff like that. And Tuesday I did all the filming. Wednesday I did all the editing. Thursday did all the like I redesigned my email sign up list. And then Friday I launched ads again. So I built it into
Oh my
mini
gosh.
steps, but within 5 days. So now for about a week, I guess I've had advertisements doing this funnel, which is the free PDF checklist for you know starting your own podcast, which has always done well in terms of collecting emails and getting people to sign up. That ad is always just, it's somewhere between a dollar 50 for somebody to sign up and get an email, which has been
Mm-hmm.
great. My problem has been then getting said clearly warm leads to buy. So now I redid the auto email sequence, which like was giving them an
Mm-hmm.
email every day or two with just some valuable information, and then eventually it was just like buy the course. Um, that converted once um, in all this time, so
Yeah.
not very successful. So I redesigned it to be here's the PDF. Hey, did you get the PDF? Here it is again. Here's some like cool, useful info like best mics for under $100 or whatever, stuff like that. And then every email concludes with, not sure if your idea for a podcast is going to fly. By the way, that's the mini course, is same as the webinar. Is your idea going to fly? An idea validation
Yeah.
thing. And so, not sure if it's going to fly. Take this mini course to figure out how to validate your idea. So they get like 5 emails over the course of 10 days, and all 5 of them end with like, take the mini course, take the mini course. It's free. And
Nice. Yeah.
so in about a week, which not everyone has gotten all the emails by now, but I haven't spent too much money on this, maybe $100 advertising it over the
Okay.
week. But I've had something like 50 emails. So that's about what, $2 a head pretty much.
Yeah.
One person has signed up for the mini course, which is totally free. And then the mini course, by the way, the rest of
Wow.
the funnel is the mini course ends with like ready to go all the way, want your hand held through the whole thing. Here's the course, here's a discount. I decided to reprice it without interaction from me, so it's just automatic because I've been trying
Mm-hmm.
like high value, high ticket item because you have access to me. This time
Yeah.
around, because that wasn't working too well, I'm trying lower ticket items. So I'm pricing it at $37, and it's only go at your own pace videos,
Yeah.
no access to me. Seeing how that works. So far, one person has signed up for the mini course,
Hmm.
and no takers on the full course as of yet, but still early. I'm going to turn off the ads today, Friday, because it'll be a week, 8 days, um,
Yeah.
and I'm going to see how this drip um, ends, like how it
Drips. How the
drips,
drip
and
drips.
see how the drip drips, see if it works. But I'm coming to the end of my rope on this course, to be quite honest. Spent a lot of
Yeah.
money and a heck of a lot of time, and I am even more proud of the mini course because I think it looks great. The information is very organized. I really want this course to succeed because if it does start making money, I am going to redo my course in this style, just the
Mm-hmm.
filming of it in this style, which just looks more professional and less PowerPoint based than my original course is. All the
Yeah.
same information, but just try to make it present better. And I, I'm not going to do that until it makes money though. So
For sure.
at this point, I did sign up, as I mentioned before, for the Frank Kern uh, course community where they'll set up all my ads for free. Um, and there's a bunch of bye Penny. Uh, there's a bunch of uh, there's a there's office hours every day on a different topic. There's a bunch of course training stuff within the community there. So I'm going to dive into that this month. It's like
Cool.
$400 a month, which is like nuts, but there's a lot of content there.
Yeah.
So I'm going to try and just do as much of it as I can in a month. They're going to actually meet me today, Friday, to to interview me about what I'm doing and gain access to the things they need to start setting up my ads for me. So I'm going to see what the
Awesome.
professionals say. And if at the end of this month, with the professionals running the marketing, because I've determined that I'm just not great at marketing, uh, that if they can't make it fly, I'm going to be pretty close in the beginning of February, if not all the way there, to being like, I'm done with this. Um,
Yeah.
Obviously, I'll take care of my current students, but I'm not going to spend any more time trying to get new students. And we'll see how that goes. I mean, I don't mean to end like on a down note. It's totally fine to me. Like it's an experiment, and if I don't do this, I have time for other things, right? So it's all gravy. Um, but the only other thought I had was actually hiring a legit marketing agency to, because these guys will set up the Facebook ads, right? And I won't know until I
Yeah.
talk to them how insightful they'll be about the whole advertising campaign I'm doing.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, you'll have access to it if they're going into your business, like Facebook Business Manager, right? So, like,
right. And they're
you'll
actually
maybe
gonna,
see some things.
yeah, they're gonna actually screen record their whole process of setting up too,
Oh, wow.
which will be great. So I'll have that forever.
Yeah.
So it's totally like worth it. And even if the podcast course goes away, um, I will have this experience, this knowledge about Facebook ads and all this other stuff, and a video of how they set it up, which will be great. Um,
Yeah.
so it's all fine. It's just reached a point where it's like you either have to start making some money, or you need to stop spending the money. so,
Yeah.
so that's where I am. But yeah, so to the point about marketing, I took a personality test with you, which you guys will hear about in a few weeks. I think we just recorded this episode.
I think so.
Um, so look out for that. But one thing we determined, and I determined, is like I hate marketing. Like
Yeah.
I love creating graphics and stuff. I like the design aspects of it, but I hate uh, the marketing aspect, the like cultivating relationships with strangers and hoping that they like the thing I'm selling. That's my weak point as far as just the thing that drains me. And kind of having realized that as kind of when I took a step back at all my businesses and things, I'm like, yeah, that's the thing I always procrastinate. I never want to do any of. I'm always tired after. Um, and so it's just not my natural gift. My natural gifts lie elsewhere. And so I'm kind of thinking it might be useful um, to talk with a marketing agency about make me an offer, like make me a proposal for what you would do with X amount of budget, give them the reins on marketing
Yeah.
the course, and see what happens in a last trial setting. Oh, there's a timer. So that's kind of. But first, I'm gonna, like, I've already spent the money on this 1 month thing, so I'm gonna try and see what I can do here. But I'm realizing, like, cool, I spent the money, but I also need to spend a lot of time now this month learning this stuff to try
Yeah.
it. Versus if I spend the money at a marketing agency, I don't have to spend the time anymore. So
Dude, 100%. And, like, I think you and I have both found out within, like, the last 6 months that Luna, hold up, girl.
our dogs are talkative today.
For real. I feel like you and I have both found out that, like, within the last 6 months that online businesses are a whole different ballgame.
Yeah.
Like, genuinely a whole different ballgame, because you don't have that interpersonal connection. It's not like you're going to a coffee shop, meeting with a client, like seeing their their body language. Like, even if you are working online with someone, like the first phone call, or like if you're just talking to them on via email or on Instagram, it's not like you can see their body language, and it's not
Right.
like you can react to
Right.
them and respond accordingly. So like if they're sitting there yawning, you're not going to know.
Right.
You know, like, how do you keep them captivated other than giving them a bunch of free shit, which sometimes works and sometimes doesn't? So I'm interested to see how this progresses for you for the remainder of the month.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll see. And I know I'm over time, but just to update a couple of things, I was looking at the budget, and realizing I think the way 2020 ended at JBit, and budgeting for 2021, I think I stand a good chance of, darn near doubling my income next year on
Hell yeah,
fixing
Josh.
computers alone. Which is, here's the positive end. So like, if I spend less time and money on podcast startup course and spend more time just being available to fix computers, um, I make a decent amount. I make enough to live very, very comfortably for me. So in New
And travel to
Mexico,
Germany?
and travel to Germany, yes, as soon as it's freaking safe. Um, and so all that is, I've kind of, as little as I talk about the IT services on Casual Fridays, because that's just kind of a machine that keeps running for me. Um, that is a bulk of my time, and I'm redoubling my efforts on just focusing on that, because that is my income. That's the thing that allows me to have the money to lose on podcast startup course right now. Um, so if
Do
that
you feel like
shuts
you're
down,
at an OTB right now, off track betting on the
yeah,
podcast
right,
course?
right. So if that does shut down, it's not all bad. I get a lot of time back. I'll always find new projects to do, and I definitely hemorrhage less money, or I can use that on something that might have a better return on investment. We'll see. Um, but I think at this point I have a good product. The students I have love it. I had my first student show up to office hours this week,
Hell
and
yeah.
it was one on one. So we just got deep in the weeds on her stuff, and I think I was helpful to her. Um, she's she's on a good journey for kind of starting a whole business through a podcast first, and so that was super fun. So the experience of running the course I've loved, and I think and hope my students are liking, and the ones that have talked to me directly anyway are liking. So that's great. It's just the marketing. So I either need to figure it out, figure out how to offload it, or shut the whole thing down. So we'll see.
Yeah. Guys, to be continued
To
next
be
Friday.
continued. All right, so we are starting the new year off right. We need to set some goals so that next week, if we don't do our goals, we will lose some money. We'll be donating some money to places we don't like. So, Cel, what are you going to do this week that if you don't do next week, I will donate $50 of your money to the National Riffle Association?
My goal this week is to have a better essence of my brand voice and start implementing it on Instagram, meaning be myself.
Excellent. Excellent. Um, my goal that if I don't do, you will be donating $50 of my money to the American Nazi Party,
So
which
appropriate this week, isn't it?
really spot on this week. Um, is let's see. So what I would like to do is I'm gonna have some sort of test set up for podcast startup course that by the end of the month I will be able to have a better idea and probably determine right then if this continues or not. I don't know what that test is, but this week my goal is to, with the help of this agency that it's gonna get on the phone with soon,
Yeah.
make a campaign, try a thing, and have parameters in place for you guys next week.
Cool. I
Yeah,
think it works.
yeah. All right, guys. Well, that has been Casual Friday. We are back. There will be a lot to do in 2021 and hopefully much success, because darn it, it's the people who work hard who are successful, right? And darn it if we
Holla.
aren't working hard. So With that, I hope you guys have a great weekend. Stay safe, especially if you're in the DC area for the next 2 weeks. Um, and that's a wrap on Casual Friday. If you got any questions for us that we can answer on Casual Friday, hit us up at unstuck.institute at gmail.com or hit us up on Instagram at unstuck.institute. And if you haven't already, download our free PDF Lifebook to keep the ball rolling on your own productivity and your business. Get your Lifebook today at unstuck.institute/lifebook. All right, we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye, Unstuckers.